Hello you guys, welcome back to another video in the same outfit because I'm recording 2 times in one night. Are you proud of me? But welcome back to another Yap session. Today, I am going to touch on something I was talking about on TikTok a couple days ago. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Alicia Milan. And I made a video talking about the struggles of authenticity. And I just feel like this would be a really good topic to talk about on YouTube that I'm really feeling right now. And yeah, so stick around if you want to hear about that and listen. Your whole life, authenticity is tested because it's always like, be yourself, be your true self. But then it's always like the world too telling you to, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you gotta act like this, you can't act like that. But it's like, what if you do? It's like a back and forth, it's like a push and pull. Like, which one do y'all want us to do? Especially if you're a Black woman like me, with society always having something to say, your family's always having something to say, or yeah, you know, anybody with, but yeah, this is not just for us. This is for anybody who feels like they struggle to be their authentic self in this messy, messy world. I feel like the older you get, the older you realize you almost have to be authentic. Like, you can fake it, you can be someone you're not when you're a little younger, but the older you get, it's like you kind of have to be, like, if you really want to progress in life or find your people, your person, whatever, you have to be authentic or else everything's going to be fake. But we don't talk about how hard it is in a world that conditions you to say you should be yourself, but then you shouldn't. Or you should be this part of yourself, but you shouldn't be that part, you know? I think that being authentic is so scary and brave. Because when you show up as yourself, you're putting yourself up for potentially being rejected, not being accepted, you know? And that is scary. Being vulnerable is scary. You can't pull back and be like, oh, I wasn't even that serious anyway. Because it was. Because you're being yourself. And those were real feelings and real thoughts. And I'm someone who I feel like actually came from a very encouraging household. Like, I've always been super emotional, not afraid to show it, open to communicating how I feel, what bothers me, asking questions, stuff like that. And I never understood why that was so hard for other people. But like, the more I grow up, I'm like, oh, now I see. Now I see why it is not that easy. The more you go through things and like, in my relationships, whether it's platonic or romantic or family, like, I find myself being therapist, like being in the chair more rather than talking about like how I'm truly feeling. And it's nice. I like to give advice. I love to help people I love, all that, but it's a little bit of a problem. Because especially in romantic relationships, you know how it is for men. It's really hard for men to be vulnerable because their whole lives, it's like, real men don't cry. You gotta get up. You gotta shake it off. Like, that stuff men are told their whole life. So to me, it's very like, okay, I totally get why you don't want to cry or you think doing this makes you like, because it's conditioned. It's toxic masculinity is conditioned to them their whole lives. And even from women too. Some women, I've literally heard woman really be like, oh, like, when a dude cried in front of me before, like, I laughed, like, I just don't, girl, what? Like, but I'm someone who really appreciates emotion and vulnerability from anyone, but especially when I'm in romantic partnerships, which I date men, so that's what I'm talking about. And if I want that authenticity, then I have to give my authenticity too, which gets harder and harder as I grow up. You know, I feel like we just have to remember that rejection is truly protection. I know it sounds corny, but it's so real. Like, how I say, the older you get, you realize that you have to be authentic if you actually want to grow and move forward and find and be in places that are meant for you. And that's exactly where the rejection and protection part comes in. My biggest trigger is feeling misunderstood. I felt misunderstood in so many relationships in my life, like romantic, platonic, family, because I'm so emotional And like, I know a lot of people have trouble where like they're like, I have trouble expressing my emotions or coming to people about what bothers me or whatever. And I'm quite the opposite. I'm like I'll tell you, I'll write a whole paragraph on who I am. I'll explain every little detail. And like, when I grow up and I realize that not everybody is built like that, and to some people that's like, oh, you're starting an argument, or it's like annoying, or it's like a threat because they're not like as vulnerable themselves, it really like discourages me from being my true emotional self. Can't tell you how many times I've heard, it's always something. You're so sensitive, like, oh my God, again. And I'm just like, wow, that is so discouraging for me to hear, for being so brave to be upfront and vulnerable about my emotions and then getting met with a negative response. And don't get me wrong, I completely understand it's about how you communicate. Like, don't come in here yelling and talking crazy and assuming to people. You know, I've definitely had to grow from that, having more emotional control, going about how I talk to people when I'm upset, because it's not always easy to be calm. But it's like when I've done so much work to be calm and explain exactly why I feel this way and what I'm looking for and blah, 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 and then I'm still met with negativity, it's like, dang. Should I have kept that to myself if I'm just gonna hear this? And the answer is, I shouldn't, okay? I should not. Because there are friends, boys, whatever, that are gonna hear me, that are gonna understand this is how I communicate. I'm coming to you with a problem to find a solution. I'm coming to you because something is bothering me and I don't want to hold it in. And there's going to be people, I do have people that appreciate that say, thank you for communicating with me. This is what I think. This is what a blah, 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 blah. And you know, it might happen again. I might run into another person who thinks I'm too much, thinks I'm too emotional, thinks I'm just complaining, thinks I'm just trying to argue. But you know what? It says a lot more about them than it says about me. I know my intentions. I know how far I've come. I know how brave I am for being vulnerable. Because it's so funny that some of those people that have told me stuff like that are the same people who won't say anything when they're wrong, when something's wrong, and will just be passive aggressive or rude to me or shut down or ignore me. That you think that's better than me? Like, how is that response better than me coming and being open and vulnerable with you? Okay, nigga. Like any other emotional beings like me, please look at the material before we let somebody emotionally unavailable make us cry again. Because it's true. It's so true. Like, being your authentic self will take out the trash for you. It's rejection or protection that we need that leads us closer to our soul tribe, our soulmate, our whatever. But it's hard. I'm talking to myself and you guys. It is hard when you are authentic, when you are vulnerable and you show up as yourself and someone does not accept you. That happened to me a couple months ago. I was really vibing with this guy. Like, I feel like he checked off everything on the list. We got along really well. We managed each other really well. Like, he was really open and receptive. But then it kind of, one conversation just kind of had everything crashing down. And we stopped talking. And I felt like, and it made me feel like, damn, like someone thinking like I'm too emotional or this is too much again. And I'm just like, damn. But you know what? The thing about being authentic and being sure of yourself is I have to look at situations like that ended as protection. Like, I'm glad that something ended with someone who did not necessarily accept all parts of me. Because the next person I want to be my boyfriend, I want them to accept every part of me. Like, I'm so huge on date someone you're compatible with. If you don't like the job they do, don't date them. If you don't want to date someone who lives in this city, don't date them. If you don't want like someone who has these tendencies, don't date them. Like, it's completely okay to not be compatible with everybody. It's more important to be real with yourself about what you like and what you don't so that nobody's time is wasted. It's protection, guys. Protected. I love that saying. Yeah, so as emotional, authentic beings, we just have to be like, okay. Because you don't want someone who doesn't accept the full you. I fully believe that I and you deserve someone who accepts the good parts, the bad parts, the changes, all of that. And the truth is, not everyone is going to. But the people who don't lead you closer to the people who do. And I wholeheartedly believe that. As a single person who still ain't found that. But it's fine, because each rejection is a step closer to exactly where I'm meant to be. And also, remember that there's more relationships than romantic too. Because I say that, but I have a great friend. I have an amazing friend. If you're watching this, I love you, girl, who I wholeheartedly feel like accepts me. Like I said, I have such a trigger of not being understood. I have such a trigger of like being met with negativity when I come to people about my feelings. That girl is healing my wound every day. Like, always lets me know my communication is appreciated, my feelings are heard, blah, yada, yada. And I love that. And I'm so happy to have that and have her. And if you don't feel like you necessarily have a person like that yet, just try to continue to give it to yourself. I know it's hard and it's so discouraging to feel like you're getting rejected, but like I said, it is protection. And I don't know how many times I'm going to say that, but I'm going to say it again because it's true. Authentic, vulnerable, emotional people, don't let this world change you, okay? Y'all ever see someone that you think is absolutely insane? You're like, oh my God, she does this, he does this, he's done that, and they're married to someone who loves and adores them. So what makes you think you can't find love too? I'm just playing a little bit, but it's true. Everyone has had that experience, and I wholeheartedly believe that being authentic is the only way to go, no matter how hard and discouraging it gets sometimes. But yeah, guys, when I be yapping, I kind of be going all over the place, but if you got the message, you got it. Don't let this world discourage you from being who you are. Yes, if there's parts of you that are bad habits, that are toxic, that are not nice, you know those parts, you know what you should work on, you know all of that. Just like I said, for me personally, how I'm like, there was never a problem with me asking questions, communicating how I feel. There's never a problem with that. But back a little bit when I was younger, there was a problem with how I used to and having emotional control on communicating effectively when I was in that state. But now I know better. I know ways that I shouldn't do that. I know how to be more calm, have more regulation. And now I truly don't see the point. And I'm confident in how I show up as myself in my communication. So now I'm at the point where it's like, if I'm met, well, not always, because sometimes, you know, you still get triggered, you still get discouraged. But most of the time now, if I'm met with negativity or emotional unavailability, I'm just like, okay. Like, I know I did my part. I came, was vulnerable, communicated how I felt. That's exactly what I'm supposed to do. If someone is mad at that, is upset with that, that's just a reflection of themselves. It ain't me, okay? But yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening to me talk. Again, thanks for listening to me yap. I just feel like this is really important, and this topic is true to me right now in the midst of navigating things, healing, going back to therapy, having my breakthroughs, all that. And I'm at a point where I'm encouraging myself to stay vulnerable, stay who I am, keep doing it, even if it's scary, because, you know, it's only bringing me closer to where I want to be. So I hope that you guys do the same. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Please follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Alicia Milan. I post a lot of shorter videos like this on my TikTok, but still same message, same chat, and it's easier to talk to you guys on there too. So please do that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching another video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!